Greetings, everybody, and welcome to Refugee to Industrial Regent, Season 2. The civic development of Byzantium continues this episode with 3 additional time-lapse projects of ascending size. The first project for this episode is the Byzantium radio station. It's actually a pretty simple structure. 4 rooms. The first room that I've got outfitted at this point is the recording studio. And then, of course, there's the control room next to it. The other 2 rooms will be outfitted shortly. Room number 3 is for the writers. Yes, script writers, because there will be some scripted programming. And really, it's not too complicated to set up. And then finally, the 4th room is the tape storage. For all those tapes of the broadcasts that have been performed previously. Now, of course, it's time to build up the walls. And the walls are going to be built up in the standard way. And I should point out that this is going to be a somewhat slower time-lapse, simply because this is a relatively quick build. I think the recorded time is about 25 minutes. I used black stained glass between the control room and the recording room to allow, on the one hand, light of sight into the control room, and on the other hand, to allow me a measure of control of the lighting in the control room. And now that I've got the walls finished up, I have to gather some more materials for the next stage of the time-lapse, which is the installation of the roof. And I'm not going too fancy on the roof here. It's going to be a fairly straightforward flat roof. Double tier on the steps as a preliminary step. And once all the steps are in play, then slabs in the middle to form the flat roof. Not a complicated roof, just a little bit of time to build. Especially when your time-lapse is only about 5 or 6x actual speed. But of course, there is one more thing that I have to build before I can actually call the radio station complete. And that is the radio mast. After all, radio signals have to get to the city somehow. And I'm trying to go a little bit fancy with this. Can't say how well I succeeded. Of course, part of the problem is that the radio station obscures the bottom section. And the other problem with respect to this time-lapse is that I didn't put the cameraman high enough. But you'll see that a bit later. Alright, but that's stage 1. And now, here's stage 2. And I'm basically doubling back, effectively, here. I had one diagonal crossbar on the first tier. Second tier will have basically a zigzag. Once to the right and then once to the left. And we have our platform for the top of the second tier. And you can actually see me barely still building up the second tier. And now I'm building up the third tier, and I realized my cameraman was set too low to be able to record the third tier properly. Or for that matter, the fourth tier. So unfortunately, the rest of the radio mast is going to be off camera. At least for the time being. Maybe in a future episode, I can get it on camera, but not this episode. But at any rate, with the radio mast sorted out, and a little bit of last-minute terraforming, The radio station is complete, and we now move to the second build for this episode, which will serve three purposes. The first is as the National Bank of Basileia and Industria. The second is the Mint for Basileia and Industria. And the third will be as the headquarters of the Ministry of Finance. Right. The first room I built on the left there is the vault, and I used some futuristic iron plating, or futuristic armor plating, I think it's actually called, and it's made with an iron ingot surrounded by smooth stone on all sides. Not a terribly complicated or expensive recipe, thankfully. Right, the back room on the right is the mint chamber itself. And then the little quote-unquote corridor in front of them is actually where the tellers are going to be. And finally, you have the public area of the bank in the front. And now to build up the walls for the first floor. And yes, I did deliberately go double thick so that I could have the vault be a vault without it actually being visible from the outside. And I'm temporarily using that part of the wall as a way to get up to the second floor where necessary. You can also see me cutting out the windows. I have elevated the building a bit. Definitely makes it a bit fancier. And now I'm working on the second floor. Now the back left room is the office. I forget if I'm going to put the Master of the Mint or the Minister of Commerce. But they will get those two offices on the top. And then the three longer rooms on the bottom towards the right are the loan officers' rooms. And they're where major loan documents will be signed. Things like mortgages and the like. And finally, to the left is the stairway up. Now, we've got the loan offices for the officers and the people borrowing money, the would-be debtors, to sign all the paperwork. Now, we've got the walls up on the second floor. Before I actually finish the second floor, I've opted to work on the front area a bit, including some quartz columns. I can't say I'm 100% comfortable using nether quartz here, but it was the only thing that really made sense. I was going for something of a classical look, and I think nether quartz columns were the way to go. And yes, we did have a meteor there. Now, I'm doing the same sort of turf on the front that I did for the airport. And yes, I did have to fight off a spider that spawned on top of the walls. Alright, and now with the entrance more or less finished, I just had to finish up the walls, and now I'm working on the roof. And of course, in order to actually complete the roof, I have to take the columns up to their proper peak. And what I've done for the roof here is I've gone half slab, full block, half slab, full block, half slab, full block, and so on and so forth until they meet in the middle. And I've also set up a sort of mini, almost attic space. It's completely inaccessible, but it will have to be lit. Alright. Now you can see me putting torches up so that the full blocks don't become mob spawning platforms. You'll also see me putting some space, or not some space, but the stone brick walls up in the front, and that's mostly to define the roof. I also left a little bit of a hole at first so that I could get out in case I fell into the attic area. But that's the roof and the National Bank finished. And now build number 3 is going to be the new town hall. The old town hall, of course, worked well for the past 4 stages, but with the ministers having all been moved into dedicated office buildings, I felt it was appropriate to nearly complete the split between the city government of Byzantium and the imperial government of Basilean Industria. And towards that end, it's time for a new town hall. You've got that back area, which is the stairway. And then this front area on the first floor is going to be the seating area for the council chambers. And there's 3 chairs, one for the mayor, and one for each of the 2 councilors for the city of Byzantium. And I've got a little bit of wall up, a little bit of work to figure out how I'm going to light the center of the room. There was one area in the center that wasn't going to be lit up from the walls. And now that that's finished up, it's time to start building the second floor. And as you can see, I've got a corridor. And I've basically divided the front areas for the top 3 floors roughly in half, so that I basically have a 6x6, 2 6x6 rooms, rather. Alright. Now that I've laid out the second floor, it's time to fill the rooms, and these will be the 2 conference rooms. And yes, I did just take the tables and chairs from the old town hall for these rooms. I won't have that luxury with the 3rd and 4th floors. And you can see I'm lighting that up to ensure that the rooms are well lit. And now, having completed the stairway to the 3rd floor, it's time to complete the 2nd floor walls, and now to start the floor for the 3rd floor. Now, I had initially considered trying to fit my office, the mayor's office, and the offices for the 2 councilors on the 3rd floor, but it became clear to me that that was not going to be an option. There simply was not enough space on one floor. So the 2 councilors will have their offices on the 3rd floor, and you can see the filing cabinets and the bookcases and so on and so forth. Now for the staircase up to the 4th floor, the 3rd floor walls, and yes, windows. There will be more than a few windows in the new town hall. Of course, the walls have to be completed. I also opted to start laying down a little bit of the floor, knowing that the 4th floor would be the top floor for the time being. I opted just to keep it fairly simple. Now we've got the floors going in. Of course, the desks, the baseboards. And now to fill out the rest of the offices, filing cabinets, bookshelves, the rest of the desks. Some temporary lighting while I get the walls up the rest of the way. And some scaffolding so that I can get up onto the roof in just about a minute here when I get ready to lay it down. And yes, you did see a slight graphical glitch. You also saw a creeper inside the town hall. Fortunately, I managed to avoid him exploding inside the town hall. Unfortunately, I couldn't avoid him blowing up in the foyer, in the forum area. And as for the roof, I'm going to do much the same thing I did with the inn that you can see to the left there. And that is to start with a base of cobblestone steps, then go to wooden steps for the second layer. Make sure I leave a hole so that I can get out in case I fall into the attic area. I also had to drop down and pick up a couple of cobblestone steps that I had dropped. Alright, and after 3 layers of wooden steps, I make my way to the last layer of cobblestone steps before laying cobblestone slabs across the top to complete the roof, the town hall, and this episode's time lapses. And after all those time lapses, I now have a fully outfitted radio station, a partially outfitted National Bank slash Mint, and a mostly outfitted new town hall. Let me go ahead and do a little bit of crafting to finish up the Mint. And it involves two machines here. The Mint from Metallurgy and the Mint storage. I'm also going to go ahead and grab myself a little bit of gold ingots. And how about a button? Just for the, because I think the Mint needs a redstone signal. Alright, we'll make our way from this direction over to the new Mint, turned National Bank. Alright, there's a block missing up there, and actually, well, yeah, I'm going to have to go back this way anyway. Because this is where the Mint area is. We have, of course, the vault to the left, and the Mint area here to the right. Let me go ahead and replace the lighting. Now, put the Mint and the Mint storage here. Alright. Hey. Okay, so that's how that works. Alright. Okay. Interesting. Alright. No idea how many coins I'm going to get out of a single gold ingot. Looks like 9. Yep. Looks like 9, so that much will give me 72 coins, which is fine. I should probably have brought a workbench into here. But oh well. Alright. At any rate, 18 coins is enough for now. So let's go ahead and put them on one of the shelves in the vault. Now let me get out of the vault. And then out of this entire back area here. Make my way upstairs. We have the offices for the loan officers. This office, let me think. Does one of these have windows? No. Okay, so they're pretty much the same. Actually, that office is a little bit bigger, isn't it? Yeah. Alright. So I'm going to go and put the desk here. 2 like so. Bookshelves. The chair there. See, that goes like so. And then the filing cabinet like so. And that's the office for the Minister of Finance. I'll put the sign up off camera. And then this is going to be for the unnamed Master of the Mint. Don't have a name for the guy yet. So I can at least put the sign up. Master of the Mint. Alright. There we go. Alright, and with that, I've very nearly completed outfitting. I mean, it will take wooden doors, and the finance minister's office needs a sign. But other than that, that's good. Now I'm going to make my way over to the old city hall to grab one little thing I'll need for the new city hall. I'll go ahead and grab it out of my office. At this point, the old city hall is almost completely abandoned. Yep, I'm just grabbing all the reports out of here so that I can move them over to the new office. And of course, the new city hall is much taller than the old town hall. Let me actually go ahead and put some signs up. Next sign, I think. Byzantium City Hall. And make my way up to the fanciest office in this building, which is all the way up on the top floor. Yep, arrange this as my office. Go ahead and put the reports up. Now, this office is going to be for the mayor. No name for the mayor or the councilors. Sir from District 1 and District 2. Alright. And might as well go ahead and label the 2 conference rooms. Justinian and Constantine, as in the old town hall. And with that, the new town hall is complete. Of course, the old town hall still stands for the time being. I'll be tearing it down at some point in the future, but not right now. There is one more thing I think I should probably do before I go off camera. And that's going to set up, and that is going to be to set up an upgrade. To the forum. And to do that, I'm going to go ahead and make these small white stone bricks. And then make my way over to the forum. It is a little bit of a jog, I admit. But I'm not too worried about it. Now, I do have some here, thankfully. Alright. There we go. Alright. And 3, 4. There we go. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, and 4. Alright. And we have a somewhat fancier looking forum. Now, I'm sure I could do something to give this a little bit better definition, but that too will be an off-camera task. In the meantime, let me go ahead and check off the forum upgrades. We're starting to make some progress on the stage completion. That said, I think I've hit a good wrapping up point for this episode. I do apologize if it's a little bit on the short side, but I will see you guys next time.